I'm Janice Dahl. I teach English, 9th graders and seniors. And there's quite a few interviews from Jennifer Egan, and one of the things that she talks about, as Peter mentioned, is her inspiration from Proust and other authors. She also is interested in the music industry and the changes that have been the music industry has gone through. And as Peter also mentioned, the inspiration for this book began when she was in a hotel restaurant and had her wallet stolen. And that's the beginning of the book. So she draws from other writers and her own personal experience. And as a teacher of writing, that is something that I find interesting. As students are trying to come up with their own writing, their own inspiration, they can draw from their own personal experience like she did. Evan mentioned that a lot of kids were like, this book is crazy, it's just a bunch of random stories, I don't get it, and in a way it's true. There are a bunch of random stories, but if we look around the room, all of us have a bunch of random stories, but we're connected through either Holderness or some other ways. And that's how she makes the connections. What I think is so interesting about the book is the little things that transfer from one chapter to the next, like the little trinket that Sasha picks up in, what country was she in? Where was she in?
Finland.
And what town?
Naples.
Naples, thank you. The little trinkets from Naples show up on her windowsill. And those little things, if you read it slowly, you picked it up, and then were like, and put it down, and then read the next chapter, you may have missed those. So I think I was fortunate in that I spent 2 days, and the only 2 rainy days we had in August, and just plowed through the book and loved it. And so I think those were really fresh in my mind, but if you can, as Evan says, go back and read it, you'll pick up on those. So, novel or short story? She's got some track for this because on the cover it says that it's a novel. And in some of the interviews, she doesn't really care what people call it. She is interested in pushing the boundaries of fiction in ways that not a lot of people do, like the PowerPoint chapter, like the crazy editorial. Another thing that she's done is she took one of the characters, Lulu, who is the Dahl's daughter, puts her into the future, and she writes an entire story on Twitter. So each episode comes out like a serial. So my freshmen are reading Tale of Two Cities, which also came out in serial form. So she's taking an old style format but modernizing it. And so only 140 characters each thing. It was published in the New Yorker. They had to come up with a new font in order to make it work. And so this is sort of what the layout looks like. And it's really an interesting read. If you read it, it's all done in the second person, but from Lulu's point of view, and it's interesting. It's I think one of the things that we have to appreciate about Eden is her willingness to push the boundaries of fiction, get creative, and as readers, we need to follow along with that and be creative readers. Another thing, if you listen to some of the interviews, she mentions having fun with her writing. She's like, I wanted to do this because it was fun. It kept me interested. And I think that's something, as all of you are writing, remembering to have fun with your writing. And a lot of times it will come out in better ways than if you look at it as a dreary old task. So a lot of interesting good things that Jennifer Egan, if you liked it, if you didn't like it, she's got tons of books. I just read The Keep. I can talk to you about that. If anyone's read that, I'd be interested to talk to you about it. Thank you.
Excellent. Thanks a lot.